Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love you and God loves you best. We are back with another video, and this is the review for the Braxtons Season 1, Episode 7, Lights, Camera, Braxtons. And this was a very nice, light episode. I really enjoyed it. It was an escape from all of the heavy emotional episodes that we have had to watch and absorb over the last few weeks. So this episode was really nice and refreshing, if I must say. So let's just get right into it. We see the ladies, being Miss E, Trina, and Tawanda, meet in LA for brunch. And they're just sitting down talking. They're discussing the photo shoot. And they're also discussing Tony's upcoming show in Las Vegas. So Tawanda mentions that she wants to take some selfies, and so they go over to the side, and as they're taking the photos, a hummingbird appears behind them, behind Trina and Tawanda. And it was one of the most beautiful things that I think I've witnessed in quite some time. It made me remember how God works and how He is able to bring peace. He is able to bring happiness. He is able to bring joy where there is darkness, where there may be sadness, where there may be dismay, there may be fear, where there may be doubt. That hummingbird at that very moment symbolized so many things of positivity and just everything that was reassuring. And it was so beautiful. And I'm so glad that they were in that space, in that place at that time to experience that. And so they remembered their sister Tracy, because we know that she had this beautiful mural on her back that was a tattoo that was hummingbirds, and there were branches, and each was a hummingbird for her sisters. So in her remembering them, and now she lets them know again that she is always with them. Now they're getting ready for the photo shoots. It's going to be with none other than Mr. Derek Blanks. I personally was introduced to him when he did the photo shoots for the Housewives in those earlier seasons. So that was my introduction to Mr. Derek Blanks. But thereafter, I've seen more of his work, and he is just phenomenal. He is a phenomenal artist. So he is going to be capturing them in this promotional photo shoot today. And we have another sister that is missing. Tamar has explained to, I guess, Tony and maybe the other sisters that she is not able and unavailable to meet them in LA to do the photo shoot with them. So in order to make things work, she is going to do her promotional photos in Atlanta, because she has other obligations that she can't reschedule. So yeah, the photo shoot feels a little disconnected, as they explain. And just from the current production all itself, I could see how it's really disjointed. And so you have the collective of the sisters in LA, and they're really enjoying each other's company and just enjoying the whole experience. And everybody talks about their different things that they, want to make sure is nice for the photos. And Trina, she brings up, she wants to be as camouflaged and, concealed as much as possible, because she does acknowledge that she has gained weight over the past few years. And it's crazy because Trina was the smallest. If you look at any recordings or just any previous performances of the Braxtons, which, by the way, I have to be totally honest, I am an R&B head to my heart. I was born in 1980, so yeah, there you go. I am an 80s baby, and I don't remember no Braxtons. Now, I remember when Toni Braxton hit the scene. Yes, she graced us with the "How many ways I love you, let me count the ways." Yeah, she hit us with that and so many other countless hits. And but her sisters, I'm sorry, no shade, but I don't remember them. Nevertheless, Trina wants to be as beautiful as possible, and she looked amazing. I think I would have had less teasing on her hair, because when she came out in the photos in the front, it was like a little flyaway. But I'm sure they probably got that all together. But it was, from the profile, it was like peacockish right here in the front. And I think that came from all that teasing. But moving on, everything was looking really good. Tawanda, as far as her hair care, it is less stress. And like I said in previous videos, I can totally empathize and relate with her experience as it pertains to alopecia. I still battle with alopecia every now and then. I get patches, and mine is just as a result of stress and my nerves. So I have to make sure that I maintain a very healthy, normal stress level, whatever that means for me, whatever that looks like for me. So just stay up out my face, stay up out my grill, and let me stick to my systematic routine. But she looks beautiful. She has a beautiful shaped head. I think that is muy importante, that if you're going to have to now remove the hair from your crown, what does that look like? Was the time taken to shape your head? Because everybody does not have a nice shaped head. Some people come out with a nice shaped head. Some people's have to be sculpted. And a baby's skull is soft, and you can just rub it softly, just rub and mold their head and put their little bonnet cap on, their little cappies on, and yeah, you can reshape that baby's head. But she has a beautiful shaped head, and she lets us know that she's feeling really good. She's feeling really excited about where she is in her journey, as far as being comfortable with her alopecia, and I think that is great. But I just want to skip back to Tamar. She's over in Atlanta. She's getting prepared for her photo shoot, and it wasn't the same energy. I mean, it was a positive energy, but it wasn't the same energy, because you weren't with your family. You weren't with your sisters. But I guess that lends an explanation back to her saying that she is a friend of the show. And that's really almost kind of how she presented herself. Very disconnected, very removed, very guarded. Yeah. It didn't seem like she felt all the time comfortable in that space with them. But I pray that at some point in their journey as a sisterhood, they can, bring it back together. And I'm sure they will. They're family. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I really hope, for the sake of what Tracy wanted for her sisters, that they are able to bring it back together. So now we see Sean, big boy Sean. He comes in and he surprises Tawanda with some corner-side street curb flowers because they weren't roses. They kind of look like shrubs, but I guess it's the sentiment because he wasn't familiar with the area. He flew to the West Coast from the East Coast to be there for her, and she says that he knows that this was going to be a very difficult time for her, so she's so thankful that he was there, and I'm glad that he was there to support her too. He should be there to support her. So I couldn't help but notice how they do the flashbacks, and Sean has really picked up a lot of weight, but in all fairness, I can extend him grace because, with the pandemic, that was just a few years ago. However, once you're of a certain age, sometimes it's not always easy to shed pounds. Now, I have been under the guise that it's usually easier for men to shed pounds than it is for women, and I still believe that. So I'm just going to say maybe the effort hasn't been put in. And hey, if she likes it and loves it, who am I to talk about it? So Sean couldn't help but notice that Tawanda's umba was exposed. And I was like, oh, Tawanda, we can see your kitty cat. She was like, it is covered, thank you. And I thought that was a little cute little scene between them, but it was a little peekaboo-ish, if you ask me. So then going back into Tawanda's alopecia journey, we see them, they're out at, I guess, lunch, or they're out at a restaurant, and she is talking and discussing her journey with her hair, and how she wore her hair, and she used to have beautiful hair, and how she wore her hair in the ponytails in the first few seasons, and it was because it was starting to thin up here. And I can totally understand and relate when you're trying to wear cover hairdos to conceal things that are going on. I remember so vividly when I was in the 4th grade and I had the worst bout. That's when I first was experiencing alopecia for the first time. And kids will be kids, and I was being picked on and teased. And so there was a group of girls, and they wanted to corner me in the bathroom. The infamous bathroom fights, baddest man, hit my hand, all that good stuff. And I wasn't confrontational. I don't like confrontation. To this day, I don't like confrontation, because if you take me there, just don't take me there. And so this girl, the girl who they pushed up to fight me, we started fighting, and she was going to commence to pull my hair but she pulled at my bow, and that's what covered my bald spots. And I guess that just ignited something in me that was like, danger, Will Robinson, danger. So I went berserk on this girl, and she had really pretty hair. So you want to pull my bows? Okay. And then I went to proceed to wrap one of her ponytails around my fist. And let's just say her and the mirror became acquainted. The end. So I like how she was just sharing and being thankful and expressing her adoration for him being there for her through her journey of when she first was, revealing herself without her hair. He was like the first person to see her like full, like baby bottom. So I think that is to be commended. But when you're in a relationship, that's what love looks like. So then we have Trina, Tawanda, and Tony at lunch at Mr. Chow's, and they are discussing Tony's upcoming show with Cedric the Entertainer. And so we find out that Tawanda and Sean have been together for 9 years, almost a decade. I'm like, okay, girl. I guess I would be questioning, what does this mean? What does this look like? Now, I'm not one to push marriage. Don't get me wrong. I've been married, been there, done that, and I can't say, and I don't want to say, and I don't need to say that I want to go back there again, okay? So, and my bae that I'm with today, he and I are very happy at 5 years, going strong, but it's been established. Now, see, he's never been married, but he doesn't have a desire to be married. I've been married, and I've been divorced, and I don't have a desire to be remarried. So we have a common interest. We're at a common ground, so we're okay. It's not like anybody is looking or waiting for somebody to pop a question. If anybody popped a question in this situation, I'd be like, who said that? So Tawanda's like, look, I told y'all I don't bother no man about no marriage, about no proposal. We don't do that up in these parts. And Tony was like, okay, well, I just want to know, is he a big or is he an Aiden? And for all my Sex in the City fandom, we know who Big and Aiden are. They were Carrie's love interests, well, two of the main love interests. And she said, he's an Aiden. She said, oh, I'm so glad. Tony said, I'm so happy to hear that he's an Aiden. I was hoping he was an Aiden. I think he is an Aiden with a big personality. Pun intended. He is an Aiden with a big personality. So when we see Tony and Cedric the Entertainer, they are at the Jennifer Hudson show lastly, and it becomes a little emotional for Tony, and I just wish she would just let go. Just let go, Tony. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're being unprofessional. You just lost your sister. It's okay. You can cry. Okay? No one is going to nail you to the cross for showing your grief. Moreover, we know now that you are a champion and a survivor of a very serious illness. And we take it seriously, and we hope and we believe that you take it seriously. So while we know that you highlight these things because this is what is a part of your life, I know there has to be more to you. So I would like for you Miss Braxton, to dig deeper. Dig just a little deeper and see what is beneath that surface that you don't want to touch. Because just to keep rehashing the lupus, and now with the heart condition, I think that is more of a concern to highlight in conjunction with your lupus. Familiarizing yourself, familiarizing the audience, what it looks like for you and what it means for you to be living with this illness and be living with this condition. So I would hope that you're able to just dig a little deeper and become a little bit more transparent when it comes to your feelings. Because I believe that you've become so accustomed to kind of stifling how you feel because of your obligation or the responsibility that's been bestowed upon you when it comes to your siblings. So you feel like you don't have that space to just be. And it's okay to just be. So try it and see how it works. So yeah, that was this review for episode 7. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this review. Let me know what you thought about this episode. How did it make you feel? Let me know what your emotion was when you saw the hummingbird. I know for me, it was very, very touching. Like I have mentioned before, I am the youngest now and only child, now living without both my brothers, and just in little things like a note in a song or music that we used to listen to together is just brings me comfort, and it still gives me consolation because it's something that you never get over. Loss is something that you never get over. It's just something that you learn to live with. As always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time,